Sebastien Bouchard and Glisandy Mejia. These one of the two fights yesterday at the weigh-in got a little bit testy.
Yeah, certainly a local rivalry here as Mejia makes his way to the ring. Mejia in particular has been very vocal during the build-up to this fight. Things got very heated at yesterday's weigh-in. They were certainly in one another's face. Mejia took this fight on somewhat short notice. It was originally offered to another fighter, Francesco Controri, Mejia's gym mate, but he had to pass on it due to an elbow injury. Mejia jumped all over it. And there's an excellent Halloween costume.
Little Lucian. And here comes Glisandy Mejia.
Mantra for his camp has been Operation Demolition. Been selling sweaters with that on them here locally in Quebec. He certainly has charisma to spare. He has wins over Dave Coyne of Hamilton, Ontario, as well as Patrick Guerin, Michael Sala, who is in his professional debut. Very much still a novice. But again, here in Quebec, you can get guys like this who can sell tickets. People are enthusiastic about boxing, and they get behind guys, even guys like Mejia, who are 3-0.
Next two bouts, this bout and the next bout after this, in T2 and Hippolyte, they both weigh in, both fights that weighed in, there was some pushing, some shoving. So we'll see if this carries over to the fight. And here comes Glisandy Mejia.
Sebastien Bouchard.
3-0, 2 knockouts, Sebastien Bouchard of Quebec City.
And Bouchard kind of illustrates the reality of boxing at this level when you get guys who only have 3 or 4 fights. He works construction by day, and he has to train at night. And as a result, he skipped Thursday's undercard press conference because he didn't want to miss work, and that was his only opportunity to go to the gym. He said that maybe one day I can get a contract and have a normal rhythm in my life, but for now, I don't care. I'm not going to miss a day in the gym.
Coming up the hard way.
Bouchard hasn't responded to any of Mejia's trash talk thus far. He said he's going to respond in the ring. We'll see if he can make that happen.
Let's go up the ring announcer, Pierre Bernier.
Next out, scheduled for 4 rounds in the super welterweight division. Les juges pour ce combat, the judges for this bout: Sylvain Leblanc, Claude Paquette et Jack Woodburn. L'arbitre de referee, M. Steve Saint-Germain. Présentant tout premièrement dans le coin, introducing first in the blue corner. He weighed in at 151.3 pounds. Il enregistre un poids de 151.3 livres. Wearing black, trimmed with silver. Il porte la culotte noire, ornée d'argent. Sa fiche professionnelle is professional record. 3 wins, with 2 wins coming by way of knockout. The Teflon, GM, Thunder Mejia. Son adversaire on the coin rouge, his opponent in the red corner. He weighed in at 101.7 pounds. Wearing silver with pink trim. His professional record, an excellent one. 3 wins, with 2 wins coming by way of knockout. The Baie-Saint-Paul, Quebec, Sebastien Bouchard. L'arbitre, Steve Saint-Germain.
Je veux un combat sans faute. Protégez-vous en tout temps. Chez vos gants. Bonne chance.
The
Should I translate the usual instructions? They are the same.
The way in theatrics carried it on a bit in the stare down.
I'll tell you, Mark, Mejia said he considers himself a puncher, and he's excited to be in there with another fighter whom he considers to be a puncher for the first time, so we could get some undercard fireworks here.
Bouchard in the silver and pink, Mejia in the black and silver. Mejia, there's a little combination. Bouchard didn't throw anything of consequence. Right and a left from Mejia. Places a right to the body and a left from Mejia.
Well, it's been difficult for Bouchard to find time to get into the gym. He certainly isn't showing it. He's in the best shape of his career, coming in at 148 pounds.
Bouchard trying to wing a right hand. Body shot from Mejia. Right over the top. Glisandy Mejia. Comes Bouchard with a little combination on the ropes. Glisandy Mejia putting his punches together here. Bouchard is a high guard. Mejia catches him with a counter.
And Mejia's trainer telling him repeatedly to go to the body.
Bouchard's giving him that opportunity with that high guard. His elbows aren't tucked. He can certainly sneak body shots in around that guard.
Mejia he's being a lot more active than Bouchard is, and he's getting through.
Bouchard hasn't yet activated his jab. He's just been trying to throw right hands coming in behind that guard, and that doesn't work too well unless you have exceptional hand speed.
Glisandy Mejia getting the better of it here in round one.
Right.
Bouchard still very tentative now, lets his left hand go. He needs to do that as he's moving forward. It does not look like he can win a toe-to-toe test of hand speed with Mejia.
Mejia's being a lot more active. Bouchard technically doesn't throw wide shots like that around the body. Now Bouchard starting to up as we close into round one, scheduled for 4. Glisandy Mejia entering the Bell Center here. Crowd sees that on the big screen. You hear behind us the big ovation for their hero, returning home tonight with a lot on the line. We'll see that later. Lucien Boutte and Dennis Gracia on Welt TV.
Boutte certainly one of the two most popular Canadian fighters. Maybe one of the most popular Canadian fighters of all time if you look at his attendance figures.
I know a crowd of around 10,000 may be expected here tonight, which shows that most of the Boutte backers have not jumped off the bandwagon just yet. We head to round two, Glisandy Mejia and Sebastien Bouchard. Mejia had a good first round, doing just that, just moving his hands, landing some punches. And Bouchard comes forward, trying to throw a big right.
Well, thus far in his career, Bouchard has mostly been matched with guys who will stand directly in front of him, and Mejia is giving him something he hasn't seen, a little bit of movement. A little bit of lateral movement. He hasn't been able to get himself set, planted in front of his opponent the way he's used to.
Bouchard trying to come forward now. And like you said, every time they try to exchange, it's Mejia's hand speed and then his volume. But Bouchard trying to land that one big shot. Or Mejia is happy to put 3-4 in the bank.
Now it's Mejia with Bouchard with his back on the ropes. And this is a tough strategy to roll with in a 4-rounder. If you're not throwing a lot of punches and you're not a terrific power puncher, it's tough to get these rounds in the bank, especially when your opponent is throwing as often as Mejia.
Bouchard really is winding up on these shots.
This is the real estate where Bouchard is most comfortable. Forehead to forehead.
Good body shot from Mejia. And a good left that cracks the jaw of Sebastien Bouchard. And another one.
Now Bouchard fought in this particular area, chest to chest against Patrick Tessier, one of the more notorious Canadian gatekeepers last year. And he stopped him, which isn't always easy to do. Bigger guys have had a tougher time stopping Tessier. Bouchard thus far hasn't shown that kind of power.
Mejia's throwing these crafty little punches that are getting through. He's hitting the right spots. I mean, it doesn't look like he's thrown real thunderous punches, but when he's big shot by Bouchard! Hurts Mejia! He wanted that one shot and he got it. And Mejia's in trouble and down he goes. And Mejia's hurt.
I believe I spoke too soon about that power, Mark.
That one shot he's been looking for.
Mejia doesn't seem all there.
End of round 2.
We take a look at the dramatic turn of events here. Mejia totally outboxing Bouchard, but there's that right hand behind the ear, maybe on the temple. And Mejia at that point just can't get out of the way. It's all right hands from Bouchard. And enough of them landing to send Mejia to the canvas. He was not there at the end of the round. We will see if he has his legs back to come out for round 3.
Interesting thing, guys. Mejia stood up a couple of minutes ago, or a couple of seconds ago, and his trainer said, sit down. What do you got to prove here? You've got nothing to prove. Take a rest. Take a breather.
Well, like Joe Lewis's old trainer, Jack Blackburn, used to say, you can't get up fast enough that people won't notice that you went down.
Good right from Mejia, but here comes Bouchard. See, Bouchard tries to capitalize early. Glisandy Mejia seems to have steadied himself a little bit here. And if you look at the score, Bouchard's up a point, whereas Mejia's probably won 5 minutes and 45 seconds of the 6 minutes.
That's the way it works. And thus far, Mejia winning the opening 45 seconds for whatever that counts. Bouchard, you see, trying to jab to the body and come over top of that right hand again. That was the one that paid dividends.
Good right again from Bouchard. You see, Mejia's punch output has gone down some. In some of these spots where he would have, in the first couple rounds where he's thrown 2, 3, 4 punches, he's just staying there, but now he has Bouchard against the ropes. Great action here at the Bell Center. Lots of great action coming up on Well TV. We mentioned the two big heavyweight fights. December 8th, James DeGale takes on Muhammad Ali and Dai.
Gale was certainly in tough last time out on Well TV.
Uppercut and a right hand from Bouchard. Here comes Mejia back.
Bouchard's kind of switched up his strategy as well, dropping those hands and really searching for a power shot from range. Before he was trying to walk his way in.
Shot again from Mejia.
Bouchard a moment ago landed a right hand as well. When he bends at the knees and throws that right hand straight, Mejia is not picking it up.
End of round 3. Scheduled for 4. Mejia and Bouchard locked in a good one. Mentioning all the great fights.
All right, take your time. Stay concentrated in there. Keep your concentration. He's trying to work by the side. Take control, take command of the center of the ring, and keep control of that center of the ring. Middle of the ring, you own that. Stay upstairs. Go with short jabs, but stay upstairs.
All right? Okay, Butch?
Great night of boxing so far, and a great night on November 17th. Hernan Marquez and Brian Valoria. Flyweight unification. And what will be a sensational fight. Many of the insiders, I know Corey in his research and writings thinks that this is a top 2 or 3 candidate for Fight of the Year.
On paper, you have to think that, and very seldom do we get in boxing 2 of the top fighters in the division fighting each other, let alone 2 you would want to see fight one another.
And then also on the undercard, for my money, the best little fighter in the world named Roman Gonzalez. Fans, if you haven't seen this kid out of Nicaragua, you're in for a treat. Defending his 108-pound world championship, plus Valoria Marquez, Fight of the Year candidate, live from Los Angeles on Well TV, Saturday night, November 17th, as Sebastien Bouchard lands right at range.
There's interesting advice in Bouchard's corner, telling him to stay upstairs. And indeed, that is where he's hurt Mejia, as he maybe did there again.
To the left. Oh, good shot from Mejia. Tell you what, if these guys didn't like each other yesterday at the weigh-in, I know they have a ton of respect for one another. Glisandy Mejia trying to smother Bouchard on the ropes. Bouchard lands a right off the rope. And an uppercut.
Bouchard needs to spin off the ropes here. Just push him back. Bouchard now standing as a southpaw.
Bouchard trying to land a right to the body. Good right to the body from Bouchard. Blood trickling from the nose of Bouchard now.
Well, Bouchard is the shorter fighter, but he hasn't tried to fight like it throughout the fight. He hasn't bent his knees. He's been standing up straight and giving Mejia a lane to land his shots.
Guys
Let's see what the scorecards are.
Guy's training in the center of the ring. Good left from Bouchard on the inside. Tell you what, this is the definition of a good professional prize fight. Two guys just going at it, grueling, hard-fought battle. Each have earned their paycheck and then some tonight.
And with that knockdown, this round is critical. This could mean the difference, perhaps, if it's scored the way that I have it, between a draw and a victory for Mejia.
Good right. Wow, look at this. Mejia's trying to touch gloves in the corner, and Bouchard told him to get away. Guess they didn't build up as much respect as I thought they did.
It's a bit unusual. I'm not one to rant on sportsmanship, but you certainly don't see that very often in a boxing ring.
I don't know what that was all about. Obviously, it's a carryover effect from the weigh-in.
I know Bouchard's trainer is telling his fighter to go and shake Mejia's hand. Go and shake hands with him. That's what he just told him.
Well, let's see if that happens.
Well, he certainly hasn't won or maintained any fans here at the Bell Center by doing that.
Certainly not. We heard them boo.
He came over and shook the corner's hand. Let's see if he shakes the hand of Mejia. Yeah, I think he's gonna go over. And there you go. Now looks like they may go for a beer after.
Yeah,
this.
well, after no embrace at all, a bit of an elongated one here.
I think Bouchard was maybe more upset at his performance, possibly. Maybe he's a little bit frustrated by that. Let's go to ring announcer Pierre Bernier with the decision.
Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, avant de rendre le verdict, ladies and gentlemen, before rendering the decision, let's give these two warriors a tremendous round of applause. Alors, voici la décision des juges. Here's the judge's decision. Le juge Leblanc, le juge Paquette et le juge Woodburn remettent tous des cartes de pointage identiques. They give out the same score on all three cards, 38-37 for the winner. By unanimous decision, and still undefeated, Sebastien Bouchard.
Interesting.
Well, Bouchard did score the knockdown in round two. I felt at times, and most of the time, that Mejia was doing the better work.
All together.
Good hard-fought fight. The knockdown proved to be the difference. We're going to see in a second some of what the judges saw that gave Bouchard the decision.
We see some of the action from this one. And Bouchard, this is where he finally got to Mejia in the second round. and right hand on the temple and finally flooring him.
That was the difference of the fight right there.
And perhaps what the judges were seeing, as we recap the action here, is that Bouchard was landing the harder blows, even if Mejia was landing more of them. Real clean and effective punching is what they were going off of. Perhaps Bouchard could have given the decision, and nonetheless, he keeps the 0 on his record.